Ay, I'm about to go level up. I cannot settle for nothing. I never been regular. Always knew I could do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking back. They didn't see all the time that I put in. Now me and the money are way too attached. Still repping 919. The city is mine and I put it all on the map. Coming for what I deserve. I put in the work. Now I'm about to level up, level up. Been on my grind since 2013. Now the way that I live, I feel like a king.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
You are now tuning in to the Snap Call Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Snap Call Podcast. I'm Xavier.
Yes.
Hector.
And we got a different type of podcast for you today. Today we are focusing primarily on the WSOP along with all of the other Vegas poker tournaments that are taking place this summer. We're going to spend a little bit of time, kind of dissecting some of these schedules. Some of them we'll spend less time on just because I think we're a little bit disappointed on what some of these structures and guarantees look like. But we'll talk about Vegas as a whole. We'll chat a little bit about, what our predictions are for this summer from a record attendance standpoint. And we'll talk about some Maurice Hawkins drama. And then we've got a couple other things to chat about. So, first and foremost, though, got Hector with us today, and I'm happy Hector's on because Hector is going to be joining. Oh, your camera turned, Hector.
Sorry, I'm trying to do all this. I don't mean to mess up the screen.
You're good. You're good. Hector's going to be joining us in Vegas. I think as of a couple weeks ago. It was kind of up in the air, kind of gray. So we now know that Hector will be joining us in Vegas. So super excited about that. I don't think Vegas would have been quite the same if you didn't go, Hector, because you would have just been seeing us on social media and just kind of living through us. So happy you can make it, man.
Yeah, man. I definitely would have been kicking myself if I see you guys at the final table and I'm not there with a big cardboard face of one of you, cheering you guys on and all that. And of course, you never know if you're not in it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean we kind of started this in terms of our first couple of WSOP trips. I feel like there's some finish. We have some unfinished business, even though it's a series that takes place every year. I feel like we're one of us is going to make a nice deep run, right? At the very least. So really excited about you being out there, man. But yeah.
Overdue to go back. So I'm excited this year.
Yeah, man. It's
a long time.
this is what
Third time's the charm.
Seventh year since we've gone specifically for WSOP, right? Like we've been to Vegas since, but not for WSOP. So kind of sad for poker players to take so long, but I think we're right back in the mix and where we need to be. Lots of training training and studying going to be taking place from the three of us, specifically like taking advantage of the Solve for Why platform and the free resources they're giving out. But we also have some cool training reviews. Kind of a series that we're going to be rolling out pretty soon that Hector kind of spawned off his dome. So we're excited to kind of jump into that, but training and studying mode is kind of what we'll be doing here in the next couple weeks. It's kind of crazy to think WSOP starts this month. Like we can officially say that now.
Yeah.
That's the 27th.
Yeah, man. Less than 30 days later this month. I feel like it's real when we're on Instagram and we see people we know going. And then I also feel like it's real when I wake up and I'm waiting for Negreanu's episode to drop. And like just seeing WSOP, seeing the table set up, seeing the build, the room set up, like that's when it feels real.
When I was contemplating the whole, like, am I going to be able to go and all that, like, I'm in the office or, we're back in the office. And then all of a sudden I just see a guy just wearing a WSOP windbreaker, walking like to and from across the hall, passing my cubicle. And I'm like, what's happening right now? Like you never see that, and it wasn't like a new one. It was a little vintage, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "I go every year, man. I take off for 2 weeks. I do the main," and I'm like, "Okay."
Did you ever get that guy's name?
No, never got his name.
Oh man,
I haven't seen him since. I've been on the lookout, but yeah.
Hector, can you adjust your camera so we can get like some space above your head, or maybe lift it, or put your camera a
Eh,
little higher?
Is that good?
Perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Man, I think you got to go find him. You got to go
Yeah.
see his names. He probably has a couple mil in Hendemab that
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look up, but I couldn't. I haven't seen him since.
that's awesome.
So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anything from Charlie Ice in terms of his schedules? I know you're exchanging messages
I
back and
can,
forth with him, but
um, I have to reach out to him. My guess is
I mean, we know he'll be
he
out there,
always,
but you know.
yeah, he always goes for the monster staff.
So he might be out there the week we're out there then, because the monster stack I think is at the end of the week, right? Or like the end of the week we're there. So, um, okay, cool, cool, cool. We saw him. We saw him uh the last time we were there, or no? I don't remember if we were there for the same dates.
Yeah,
We did see
yeah,
him
that
there.
he because I remember the first day we were at Venetian, I was playing cash at the Venetian. He was up, and he came to the table. He was like, "What's up?" And then he won the satellite for the main event that year.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I just didn't remember if we saw him in Vegas or not. Um,
Yeah, we did.
okay, all right. Well, I mean, we'll have some good representation out in Vegas. Excited to see what we can kind of muster out there. We'll be doing a lot of networking, right? Like we'll be out there. We'll be seeing Renee from the Side Bet podcast. They're gonna be doing a happy hour at the El Cortez at in Fremont. Doing some networking there on our last day and just meeting some other casino
Honestly,
Vegas podcasters, influencers. So that'll be a lot of fun.
yeah,
let me say,
yeah.
I've seen like I just want to see a whole bunch of like legendary poker chips, like from different casinos and different movies and stuff like that, just to see like the going price for them and stuff.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued about that. That's something different that we probably never would even thought of to do on our own.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I'm
No,
I'm all about that.
I think we got really lucky with the week we picked because like that's the only week that convention's taking place. Which is if you don't know, it's like a casino memorabilia collectible, convention. So chips, roulette balls, crap stuff, like you name it, everything casinos that have been in a casino, they sell it there for collectors. So I'm just happy we're gonna be there just that week that we happen to that week that it's gonna be taking place because that's gonna be a cool opportunity. My wife is Josie's actually in Tampa at the Hard Rock in Tampa right now. My mom, they're seeing some sort of show over there because my mom gets all these freaking shows. Oh,
Buffalo.
she gets all these damn tickets to the shows now, so they're over there right now. And I asked her to pick me up a $1 Tampa chip so we can to Renee as well. And you know, who knows? Maybe that's got some heavy value in Vegas. We'll see. So, I just want to see like we're gonna see people with like movie prop rounders chips just like Renee had. Like
Mhm.
I'll shell out a little bit for one of those. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Like I don't know what I would get excited for, but I know when I see it that I'll be like, I need that
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. No, on eBay. On eBay I saw like the one with the bear, like the one they play at Teddy KGB's place. But then there were some at I'm gonna draw a blank now, but there was some chips that some other that the Chesterfield or whatever from the Chesterfield scene or whatever. So can't confirm, those were in Matt Damon's hands or anything, but it's still a cool story at
Yeah.
the end of the day. So
Hmm.
but yeah, let's get into the schedules right now. We're gonna chat a little bit about the WSOP first. So I'm gonna pull that up on the screen here. Um, as I said, May 27th, it's kicking off. Really excited to see what's the WSOP is gonna bring. This is now I forget what year it's now at the Horseshoe, but this will be our first year going to the WSOP since it's taking place at the Horseshoe. But we know last year they went out of their way to make a lot of changes in terms of registration and making sure there's enough tables and all that. And I think overall the feedback was really good. I didn't really see anything bad about people complaining. People are gonna wait. Like it is what it is. But in terms of the logistics that they can control, I've seen nothing but good feedback. But kind of looking
I'm
at
actually
the
worried.
the WSOP
I'm
tournament,
actually
what
worried
you got?
about that one real quick. Like the buy-ins and waiting. Because when I'm playing the Colossus, I feel like if I bust and I'm gonna rebuy, I feel like that line's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do they? And
yeah.
I don't think they do. They don't, I don't think. But it would be nice if you can have multiple bullets ready. I'm sure they don't do that for the sake of like the prize pool and all that. But it would be nice like if you can like pay for 3, get a ticket for 1, and then maybe get like a token for 2 more. And like when you redeem that token, then they give you another ticket. Like you know what I mean? Like, cause yeah, to have to go back like if you rebuy into the Colossus ice, hopefully you get 1 bullet. Like you're gonna be there for 7 hours. Like that's gonna be
Yeah.
rough.
Like last year, you saw people were pissed. They was like, "Oh, I couldn't get in. I was in this thing for I couldn't rebuy, or people couldn't even register because the line was like the late reg guys.
Yeah.
Like the line was crazy long. So I was just like, if I bust a Colossus, I got a feeling the line's gonna be long.
I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that what that machine is for? Isn't that like
Uh
that machine that we see on DNegs that he just uploads whatever amount of money and then when he goes, it's like getting him a ticket?
yeah, so
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what like the stipulations are there because I know you can like wire money in advance and exactly have that kiosk that you can go to and just pay. I don't know if it's as easy as just going to the cashier and saying, "Hey, I want to load 10,000 to my account." That way I can easily go into that machine and just buy, or if it's only available for like wires and stuff. But from what I saw,
Yeah.
like the minimum for like a bank wire is like 100K this year. Like it's crazy. But then they're gonna allow like PayPal, which is super sketchy, for like this amount of money, and then some other stuff. So it would make sense to me that you can use the kiosk, but I mean that's what they're there for, right? But I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It makes you wonder why more people don't do it if it was that easy.
that's true.
Um, but yeah, taking a peek at just the overall schedule for WSOP, the one thing that stands out to me, and not necessarily because we won't be there, but I think in terms of the schedule as a whole, is the Mystery Millions being week 1. I think we talked about that
Day
on this.
one.
Yeah,
Event one.
event 1. Yeah, event 1. Not even just week 1. Event
Yeah.
1. Usually
Yeah.
it's a casino employees event that they kick it off, but they're going right into the Mystery Millions, which is might easily have the largest entries for the entire series. Um, what do you guys think about that? I know we covered it lightly when the schedule was first released, but now that we're less than a month out, what are your
Yeah.
guys' thoughts?
That's perfect. I mean, that's what we want to see as poker players. I mean, nobody's tuning in to the employee final table. You know what I mean? Like, we want to see some big pulls. We want to see, like, hey, this is why we need to get to Vegas because you could potentially turn whatever into houses. You know what I mean? And it's just that's a beautiful thing. Like, cater to your audience. So it's the first year, what, GG Poker is in charge?
Yep, yep.
So I think they put their best foot forward there.
What do you think, guys?
Yeah. So I'm stuck in between because I love the idea that, for example, the Mystery Millions is a tournament that, for example, like if you're not playing in it, you're looking up on Twitter, like, hey, let's see who pulled the bounty, which bounty they pulled, and stuff like that. So like everybody's like kind of tuning in just to see like who pulls the biggest bounties and obviously who wins the tournament. Um, and since that's like the one that draws the most attention, it's good to kick it off like that. But at the same time, I'm kind of used to like, I kind of wanted them to do like a kickoff event, like which one is this one? The 50, what? The 50,
The first event?
no, the World Series. What number is it? 50, what?
Oh, it's
The 50,
51st, 56th.
56th.
Mm-hmm.
the 56. Like, kind of like make do like a $360 tournament. To kick it off, like for the 56 or whatever. Like,
Like a
and then,
champions tournament or
yeah,
something.
for like, yeah, the entries. Because, you know,
Like
even
you need a bracelet to be able to play
yeah, they
or
usually do
something.
4 points to kick it off, and they draws like crazy crowds too. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind that either. That's the thing. You need eyes, and a regular tournament is not going to do that.
yeah,
A $500 employee is not going to do that. Omaha, 1,500 is not going to do that. Like, you need star power. You need something that's going to catch people in, and lottery ticket poker. I mean, there's nothing better than that. But yeah, I wouldn't be. That would probably be right up there too with a decision of like a celebrity game or something, or past champions game.
yeah. I mean, I won't lie. When the schedule was first released, I was a little disappointed to see the Mystery Millions as the first event, just because like
We
it could
can't do it.
arguably, well, we can't do it, We won't be there, but it could
Yeah.
arguably be the biggest event of the series. I mean, the top bounty takes $1 million. First place is guaranteed $1 million. Like that's massive. Like for $1,000 buy-in, like that's huge. So I would have loved to see that kind of like halfway, maybe, to the finish line. But
Mhm.
knowing what, I should say knowing, but predicting what I now predict the numbers in Vegas will look like now, I think from a marketing standpoint, my dog is scratching at the door. From a marketing standpoint, I think having the Mystery Millions as the number one event makes the most sense now. Because I think the numbers in Vegas this year are going to be down. Like that's my prediction. So, what better way to get people to say, you know what, I'm in, than having a massive event to start off the series, and you're talking,
Yeah.
people are gonna that might make people's decision to now come, right? Like it's gonna be
Yeah,
that much
a
easier.
lot of
So
people have $1,000 as opposed to 10,000 or 15.
yeah, and it's a great
You
price point, right?
know?
But people will see that and be like, I don't know if I'm gonna go this year, and then they're gonna be like, man, that dude just pulled $1 million out of a freaking envelope. Yo, I'm
Yeah.
booking my trip. Like so that's kind of my thoughts on the Mystery Millions being the number one event. I like the idea of the casino event before, granted, or the casino employees event before. Granted, we don't care about it, like we don't play in it. But
Yeah.
those dealers aren't going to play in any other events for the most part. So like this was their
Mhm.
chance to play.
Yeah, I
But
don't want to get rid of it.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's not pulling in viewership
yeah.
or people subscribing,
But last year,
but I think they're starting off strong. They got the millionaire, the Mystery Millions for a G, and then right at day 4 or day 5, they have the 25K heads up.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, and then 2 days later they have a 10K mystery bounty.
yeah.
I mean, they're starting off strong.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love what the WSOP as a whole did with their schedule. I think there was a lot of people that were a little apprehensive in the beginning when GG Poker came on board because everyone was talking about like, oh, they're all about the rake, yada yada. But I think overall the schedule is pretty solid. Looking at specifically the dates will be there. We're looking at Ice will be there June 6th. Ice is gonna be jumping into the Colossus, right? Ice on that Saturday, the last flight of the Colossus. Um,
Well,
You'll be doing the mixed, if you don't run deep there, potentially the mixed tournament on the Sunday. Is that right?
yes. So that Sunday I'll be doing the mixed no limit hold'em PLO event number.
I don't know why.
What's this say the event?
28.
28.
Yeah.
You have $600 30K starting staff, 30 more levels.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
Man,
that 1500 PLO double board bomb pot seems right up your alley too. But
when
I understand if
is
you picking that over the Colossus. Yeah, I picked the Colossus.
when is that one?
Same day. It's the same day as the Colossus flight D. So, oh no, that's Friday.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
Friday.
Friday.
yeah,
Um,
Friday the 6th.
Oh, at
How
noon.
many
Yeah.
how many runners that last fight of the Colossus are gonna get? Because it's on Saturday, so a lot of people are flying in, and it's gonna be. I think it's gonna break over 1 million guaranteed. Not guaranteed, 1 million like prize pool. That Colossus event.
Yeah, got this doggy scratching my door. No, I would agree with that. I think 1 million prize pool for sure is in the very possible, very possible. I think we're
Yeah.
probably looking. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if 30% of the entries come in on Saturday alone. Like you said, like last opportunity to fire a bullet. A lot of people are probably arriving a week before Monster Stack to kind of get some reps in before Monster Stack. What better way to do it than an event like the Colossus? So I could definitely see the Colossus, brushing 1 million. I could probably see close to 2 million. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you think about it, we have $400 milli guarantees here in Florida, and that's not even a WSOP. So I could see that hitting 2 million potentially.
Another tournament I'm excited for is the one on Monday, the 8-handed no limit. Beef stack.
I do like that. 40K starting stack, 30-minute blinds. Uh, I
Event.
like I like that one because it's whatchamacallit, it's like it's a friendly price point, right? Like it's not 15, 3K, 5K. It's a friendly price point. Um, and it's not like a super drawn out tournament. I want to say it's gonna be like a 2 day tournament or something like that. Like I was looking at the
Yeah.
structure. I think it's a 2 day, which
Yeah,
is
the 800.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a 2 day,
yeah.
which is great. So
It's
like, I can get my bracelet the very next day and I'm ready to play something else,
I'll be. That's probably the only one I'll be doing because since I leave on Thursday, if I start anything on Tuesday, they're all like 3 days.
Yeah.
The only other one that is a 1 day that maybe if I is I think it's a bounty tournament. It's like 1,500.
Oh, the Super Turbo.
Yeah,
That has a hard eight written all over it. You know.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
that
So
that, that
so I'm like that'll be
that's the way to get into it.
if the everything happens correctly.
I could see
But
that happening.
also we might be playing golf that day, and so
Oh, that's right.
at that time,
We are planning to play golf that day, and we need
yeah.
to shit up a little bit. So, but
There's,
hey, that
there's
doesn't
even a
mean that.
PLO mystery bounty at Aria that day, and I'm like, ooh, I'm not a PLO person, but for mystery bounty, I do that.
Listen, if you're free rolling,
Yeah,
all bets off. You're in Vegas, right? Like,
right.
that's coming out of someone's pocket, not your own. So,
Yeah,
um, yeah, outside of that, the one that I kind of have on my wish list is the 3K freeze out on that Tuesday. Now, granted, we plan to break it up and do golf that day and then potentially do the win at night. But the 3K freeze out, I would have to satellite into it. It's a 3K buy-in. But if I can find myself satellite into that tournament like that Monday night, then I would like to do that tournament. I think first place last year took around just around 500K, give or take. Great structure, 40K starting chips, 40-minute blinds. I think day one, 60 minutes, day
yeah.
two or day three, something like that. So
Okay.
yeah, I like the structure. I've always you know like the idea of a freeze out. They typically get a lot
Yeah,
of they may not get a shit ton of rebuys, but they'll get a lot of entries in general because people like the idea of others not being able to buy in 4, 5, 6 times. So the only thing I'll say, and this is kind of my last point for WSOP is, I wish there was more six max tournaments. Like I like shorthanded play, and maybe it's
hmm,
just like something I feel confident in, but I would love if there was more um, six max tournaments on their schedule.
yeah. Okay.
That's about
How much is that satellite?
So they got I mean, so they have what's called landmark satellites. So landmark satellites is they will have a specific satellite that if 1 in 10 or something like that will get you a buy-in directly into that tournament. And then they
Gotcha.
also have just regular like sit and goes or other satellites where it's like, hey, you'll get, you know, 1 in 10 will get you if it's a $300 satellite, 1 in 10 will get you 3,000 in chips. And you can either
Yeah.
use that to just cash out or you can use that to buy in directly into the tournament. So there's specific landmark satellites. It's on the WSOP schedule. I think it's at the bottom. That'll give
Mhm.
you the exact schedule of like what that satellite is. But yeah, either way, there'll be tons of satellites running pretty much around the clock. And if
Gotcha.
and
Yeah, I honestly, yeah, I like that. Even though I leave a day earlier that Thursday, but I mean, if I make day three,
yeah, I was gonna say
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I'll get the okay
if you
to stay
if you
longer.
make day three, that means you've made
Yeah,
probably at a minimum top final two tables because they'll play to a winner
yeah,
on day three.
yeah,
I mean, and then
exactly.
you've locked up probably 20, 30K easy at that point.
Hmm.
I don't think you're flying back home.
Yeah, all right, I might do that one with you.
Yeah, I do like that. And anything else on the WSOP schedule, guys? Before we kind of shift gears and talk about the win. No.
No, that's just for the ones we're out there for.
All right.
I would
Yeah,
So
like to do the monster stack, but
Yeah.
We leave
Oh, Ice, you're kind of
Friday night.
your voice is kind of low.
I said I would love to do that monster stack one, but we be out. We be gone by then.
Yeah, yeah, the Monster Stack, and they, man, I wish, and I get it why they host those tournaments more over the weekend, right? Like it's just easier to get more entries, but 50K starting stack, 60-minute blinds, like amazing structure. Get a lot of play for your chips. I mean, it's I like it. Hey, who knows? You ship something. I don't think you're gonna be going anywhere. You'll find yourself play. You'll, I'm sure you'll find a way to extend your trip.
Yeah, I use all my sick days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So
And
real
that-
quick, going into the win, because it kind of correlates a little bit with our schedule. I think one of the best values in all of the summer is going to be the $1,600 tournament that we're going to be playing in. So that's a $1,600 $2.5 million guaranteed tournament. That is taking place at the Win. Wait, is that the one we're doing? Or are we doing the Venetian one? Now I'm forgetting. No, it's a
No,
$1,600
we're
one.
doing.
Yeah, it's a $1,600 win. Yeah, so 2.5 mil, $1,600, 40K starting stack. Great structure. I think when I look at the schedules, this is going to be one of those tournaments that's, I think, going to kind of run that early week that we're there. Because, Hector, what would you rather do? $1,600. What would you rather do? A turbo that's $1,500. That's 15-minute blinds, and you get like 30K in chips.
Mhm.
Or would you rather do for $100 more, 2.5 guaranteed prize pool? Uh, because like 30 and 40-minute levels, and you get 40K chips, and it's not it's not a
Yeah.
turbo structure. Like for just $100 more, you're getting yourself out of a turbo structure, which I think is worth it. But I think this is one of those tournaments that like we'll probably see a lot of people skip the super turbo bounty on and jumping into this one over at the Win.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good for me just because day two is Thursday, and I leave Thursday.
Yeah, there you go. There will be, I think, day three. There's a day three there that'll take
Yeah,
place on the Friday, and it picks up at
yeah, and then the
noon.
day three is that Friday. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't be able to do that one.
Yeah, but I
Well, yeah,
mean,
no, I see that you having more value than
yeah. But listen,
than
if you found a way to
the
be
founder.
in and you find yourself deep on date, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
not going anywhere. Let's be real. You got to
That's
listen.
true.
That prize pool, that first place is gonna be 600K.
Yep.
Like that's gonna be more than what the
Hmm.
Super Turbo Bounty is. Now, granted, a Super Turbo Bounty has a bounty attached to it, but I don't think it's gonna generate a prize pool um of the same. I could be wrong, but
Yeah. Well, let's see. Last year, the guy won it last year. 240K
yeah, yeah.
per
So
purse.
this
Per purse.
2.5 mil, you're talking. I mean, I don't know.
At least half a million. At
Yeah,
least half a million.
yeah. I could see this guy taking a good chunk. It's just a better structure overall, and plus you're playing at the Win, right? Like
Yeah.
probably overall a better experience at the end of the day. Quality of their tournaments is pretty top notch.
Mhm.
We haven't played a tournament at the Win. I know we did Venetian before, but you tend to hear nothing but good things about the Win. So that'll be a really
Yeah.
exciting one to play in. But I definitely see that one being one of those that people will say, you know what, I love the bracelet events, but I'm gonna go play this one instead. I can definitely see that taking place.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go to something that I thought was kind of disappointing. You had mentioned one of their tournaments earlier, Hector, the PLO one, which I like the idea of that PLO, but the Aria schedule. I don't know
All
about
right.
y'all.
Yeah.
I was kind of
Yeah.
disappointed.
Besides the mystery bounty that's on the same day that we're doing the $800, I was like, I don't really see anything. You know.
Yeah. Wait, am I missing that one? Oh man,
So the mystery bounty
I have
season.
I have the 2024 schedule here. That is why the Aria 2025 schedule. I have to post, but okay, so June 9th. Okay, so June 10th, that Tuesday, is that the one, the 250K PLO
Yeah.
mystery bounty? Okay.
Yeah.
$1,100, 250K. So this my whole gripe with the Aria schedule is I'm like I know guarantees can get broken, but the guarantees are small for the buy-ins. Like I'm just not seeing a ton of value. And a lot of people are excited about Aria and their when their schedule got released and stuff, but I don't know. Like I'm not that impressed by it. I don't know about you guys. What are your guys' thoughts? But
So I think for me, I feel like they put up a schedule just to like throw some tournaments. But I think they're mainly going to cater to the cash games. Just maybe high stakes, maybe get the rate from the cash games. I don't feel like they made a big effort here to draw crowds. I just felt like they just do it, to say, hey, we have a series. But I think they mainly bank in on the amount of people that's in Vegas for WSOP, maybe bank some cash games. But this is for me, it's weak for the Aria.
yeah, I don't know. Like I look at this like on that Saturday, right? That we're there. They're running a $1,600 Bet MGM No Limit Hold'em tournament, 500K guarantee for 1,600. Like that's weak. Like you
That's
can
weak
find
one.
much better value at probably most other casinos that weekend. That's the Monster Stack weekend. Why would you play that?
And the wins still on the 2.5 guarantee. So it's just like
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, overall, pretty disappointed with Arias. Don't get me wrong. I would personally love to play in a tournament in Aria. The poker room's beautiful. It's I'd love to play there, but they're not giving me a reason to go there
Yes.
yeah,
and give them my money. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
for
I mean
cash,
the
yeah,
people who have it that they're getting busted out of the monster stack. Yeah, they'll probably head over there. That they're still tilted and want to play, but for other people who are just like time constraint, budget constraint, they're gonna find better value elsewhere.
yeah, yeah. I'm
yeah.
just not. I'm
Um,
I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. I mean, we'll go there play cash for sure. But outside of that, I'm not even. I'm not impressed.
yeah,
Um,
that's me. Like if I'm going to spend this much, I want a higher guarantee, and then also, we're not going to be playing in the area poker. We're going to be playing in the convention center. So it's just like that's not worth it.
yeah. Yeah, just overall, that was one of the ones outside of Golden Nugget that I was really excited to see, and when they released it, I was like, kind of weak.
Yeah,
Here, let's kind of move along here. The Venetian tournament came out. Venetian has a pretty similar tournament to the in terms of buy-in wise to that 2.5 milli guarantee, but they have an $1,100 buy-in, $1 million guarantee, which again I think it's one of those where it's like I'd rather pay an extra $500, go play at the win, and I'm getting 1.5 more in the prize pool. Like I don't think that's a really hard decision there. Now we've played in a tournament in the Venetian before. Obviously, they run really good tournaments, really good staff. Um, I just think that was probably a miss on their ends. That was just probably unfortunate that they had that tournament at the same time as a Super Turbo Bounty, and at the same time as the 2.5 million guarantee that's taking place at the win itself.
I'm actually more disappointed because they launched this new poker room. So you would think for this WSOP 2025, they will like go crazy with their tournaments and just kind of like obviously you're going to be playing the convention center because it's so many tables, but at the same time you can draw those people out in the tournament to the cash game. And I don't know. I feel like they dropped the ball there, especially when you have a new room like they have.
yeah.
Yeah,
They do have a $600 40K guarantee bounty 1 day tournament. It seems
on that Friday.
running running like every couple days.
Oh,
You said 60K,
600,
yeah,
six
600.
hundred
six
for
40K.
40K
Yeah,
guarantee.
That's
But
I think that's
that's not like nothing special.
a
That's
yeah.
just
It
what they
looks.
normally run.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good call out because it looks like they're running that like every couple days, if not every week. Yeah, they
Yeah.
got one June 4th, June 5th, Jesus, June 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
I mean,
that's a popular one they're running there. I know their
yeah.
big thing is like the final table of that tournament's gonna be streamed on Poker Go, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, but like, would I rather be on the final table on Poker Go? Or would I rather be playing for another 200K up top? Like, I don't know. I think that's a no-brainer.
That's not even a question.
Yeah, I'm not too. You can put me in the back of the Orleans with no lighting. I don't care. Like I'm trying to play for more money at that point. Um, all right. Golden Nuggets. Golden Nugget. This is another one I think we were kind of waiting on. Golden Nugget in general, people love the Golden Nugget. Great poker
Yeah.
room. Got the old school feel. Um, Good structures. Um, I was kind of disappointed with the guarantees of the tournaments while we're there. I think the largest I saw was there's a 50K while you're there, Ice. That's a pretty good value. $250 for 50K. So that's a good one while you're there. But
What's that? Some
the Saturday of the same day as the Colossus. But while like that full week we're there, the highest guaranteed tournament they have is a 40K. Like the deep stack,
Yeah.
the daily deep stack will pass 40K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and we don't even
Their
gotta leave.
normal
We don't
two
gotta leave
hundred
our
dollars,
hotel for that.
$400 is what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm like, I'll do a daily deep stack for that.
yeah,
Especially if that's where we're staying, we could just go downstairs.
exactly. Yeah, walk downstairs, buy into the daily deep stack. It'll be a bigger prize pool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I
Yeah.
love the idea of playing in different places, but when it comes down to value, it's a cheaper buy-in to buy into the deep stack where we'll be staying on top of that. Like, it's not even there's again, they're not giving us a reason to go to Fremont on top of that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to waste gas in the all right, moving along. Got a couple more. I'll look at Resorts World. Resorts World looks like I almost said something that's gonna get us in trouble. Resorts World looks like the average card club nightlies that are running. Maybe some of the average card club tournaments. I mean, while we're there, I think the biggest tournament like they're running they're running 5K guarantees every night, and then there's like 115K, and then there's a 20K at the end of the week. Like, I think I don't Resorts World is growing in the poker scene, but I think it's clear they're being
Yeah.
very modest in terms of their tournaments. Like, they're not trying to put big guarantees out there.
Yeah. So check this out. You're gonna walk or even Uber or even like us. We're gonna rent a car to Resort World to play a $200 5K guaranteed. And
Let's
we
listen.
have a $200 that you should get 30, 40K easy.
Listen.
Beats that.
I think we're
You
I
don't
think we're pretty 5K $200 buy-in out
you don't
at
want
this point.
to you don't want to play in the Ship It in Deep Stack in Vegas. We know that structure really well.
Exactly. Well, which is kind of another reason why I kind of wanted to do that super turbo bounty, because it was exactly 25K chips, 20-minute levels, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm in the pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, Resorts World is definitely probably for someone that's probably just getting their feet wet. They want to be in the city at that time. Probably more so
Yeah,
for people staying there and they don't got to go anywhere else. So, was a little
yeah,
disappointed looking at their schedule, but I had to take into account to Resorts World. Across the street they
yeah,
got what Fountain Blue, or they got on that other corner you got the Win. Like, it's gonna be hard for them to compete. But hopefully
yeah.
they grow. Hopefully next year they shoot a little bit higher because they're
Mhm.
disappointing me right now. MGM Grand, they're partnering with the Moneymaker Tour again. For their summer series. Some good value in a lot of the tournaments at the MGM Grands. This is one I didn't dive too deep into when it first dropped. But there's some good value here. I think there's a $400 100K guarantee that's gonna be running while we're there. It's a 2-day tournament. So it takes place on that Tuesday, and on that Wednesday is day two. They'll come to a winner, so that'll be nice to kind of take a peek at. And then outside of that, they have some random 40Ks, some random 30Ks, but definitely a lot more secondary tournaments. But I think the most value is going to be that $400 100K tournament that is on the 10th.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I can see that get into 250, 300K.
Yeah.
Um,
And
that's
that's
good
and
value
that's
there.
a that's a
That's
I
super
didn't think
fun.
of it before. That's that Tuesday, right? So, like, if for some reason, Monday goes horrendous and we go golfing early Tuesday, we'll be back in plenty of time to go into the later flight on that Tuesday, right? So if we're like, you know
Mhm.
what? you know, I don't know if I want to fire a $1,600 bullet. Let me, do this tournament. There's options, right? At the end of the day, there's options. So I think that's the most
Yeah.
important thing. And there's some really good players that will go to a lot of tournaments outside of WSOP. Like I know Boski was playing in some MGM Grand, specifically Chris Moneymaker event. Did he win one? I think he ran deep in one. I think he ran deep in one last year. I could be wrong, but it was specifically when they had already partnered with Moneymaker. And I think last year was the first year they partnered with Moneymaker. So,
Yeah, Moneymaker has Brad Owen, Rampage, has a lot of guys out there. As
yeah.
far as like,
But I'm just trying to think. I think it was Boski specifically that ran deep in one. Or maybe he did like. I feel like I could picture him putting his hand and grabbing a mystery bounty or something. But I could be wrong. Boski's. Um, but yeah. I mean, overall solid for that week. The one tournament I do like, they got that double board PLO bomb pot on that Monday at 10 a.m. I know we'll be doing the 800, but
Yeah.
it's only a 10K guarantee, but it's also only $300 buy-in. I'm
Mhm.
sure that guarantee will be smashed. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So
that's good. So like one of those days that you just want to drink, just say let's put $300 total away. Just like keep bringing the drinks because it's going to be a quick 20.
oh
Get a
yeah.
Oh,
couple on the system.
one I wanted to point it out that there was a tag team event.
You guys there?
If you guys would be down for that, I think it was Golden Nugget. I don't know what the guarantee was or anything, but like I said, day after golf, we ain't got nothing going on. Maybe we jump in there.
Oh man, my phone. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut out for a little bit.
Yeah, my phone died. All
Yeah,
right,
the
so my
200.
camera just went
That's
out.
it
Let me grab the
isn't bad. Never played the
um
tax event, so
wait,
it'd
so
be kind of cool.
did you say there's a tag team event or did I mishear that?
Yeah, I think it was the Golden Nugget. It could be the Orleans. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was on a Tuesday, and it was Tuesday night, and it was only $200.
Oh wait.
And I was like, if we ain't got nothing going on, we could jump into that, and that'd be another, yeah, just drinking, and whoever busts owes the team more drinks or something. I don't know.
Wait, find it, find it. I'm interested to I honestly didn't even know
Yeah,
that was an option. I had to change my
yeah.
camera, so that sucks. Let me fix it real quick. I had the iPhone looking crispy over here, and now I got a webcam up.
Okay, let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, I'm interested in
The
seeing that.
ninth, deep stack. There it is. Yeah, the 10th. So 10th Tuesday, 6 o'clock. 20-minute level, 15K in chips, 20K guarantee.
At
So,
Orleans
no, it's a golden nugget.
on the 10th.
Yep.
I'm
So
gonna pull that up right now.
if other things don't work out, like the 3K.
I like that. I don't know how we didn't see that. But yeah, I'm definitely down for like a. You know what? Things are getting kind of rough, boys. Let's
Yeah,
let's just
yeah.
drink tonight and throw some chips around. Cause let's be real, it'll be one of those nights, and that's poker for you. So, um,
Yeah.
okay, damn, I had to
But
go
yeah, I'm down to do different types of things as well. And I was like, never done a tag team event. That'd be cool.
yeah.
Maybe you guys will get me a Hendon mob, and I don't have to do anything.
Hector finally gets some end in my tag team.
Can you imagine we did a tag team event and they don't credit you at all? They just credit one of us like 100%.
Just snap call.
That's
um.
crazy.
Okay. All right. I got the camera going. That sucks. Let me pull it up while we're talking about it. So on the 10th at Golden Nuggets tag team 20K 200. Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. I wonder if you can be on two different teams. Ice can play on both of our teams. He'll just be running back and forth. All right, perfect. So I think we kind of covered the majority of them, right? Is there anything I missed? We got Orleans, which honestly, I
Yeah,
nothing there that I don't think we're gonna be going out of our way for. I want to go check out the
yeah,
room, but I don't think there's
yeah,
anything outside of that. So
yeah. I mean, chip wise, I need like a Resorts World chip. I need an MGM chip, and but I don't need an Orleans. So I'm like, unless we're gonna go play, I don't need to go there.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, no, I have a running list right now of the chips I got, the chips I've lost, the chips I want to get when we go out there. I will probably go out of pocket and find a Mirage chip at that show, unless Renee's got one for us, because I'm so heartbroken I can't find my Mirage chip. But I'm happy you got a Tropicana chip right before Tropicana freaking imploded. So happy about that. All right, so switching up gears, we talked about the schedules, right? What are we kind of predicting now, each of us, about what these numbers are going to look like? You know, we've been sharing some stories back and forth about Vegas numbers. We've seen conflicting information, right? TSA talking about how busy the airport is, but then everyone else is talking about the numbers going down. MGM Resorts is starting to lay off people. Like, what are your guys' expectations of the poker numbers, the entry numbers, specifically for this upcoming summer? Are we going to see record numbers? Are we going to see it remain
I,
flat? What are your
I
thoughts?
mean, it's really hard to maintain what was last year of another record-setting year. I think they'll do well. GG Poker, I think, is putting their best foot forward, but I don't know if they're gonna smash. Like some things will smash, like the Colossus. I think will do well. The Mystery Millions will do well. The final, the main event will do well. But all the other ones, I doubt that. I doubt that we'll see some big numbers.
Main event.
Vegas just needs to get it together.
What are you thinking for the main event? Last year it broke numbers. What are you thinking for this year?
uh, Probably like 1,000 less.
1,000 less, so
Yeah.
9K range, give or take, right? It had what, 10K in change last year?
I don't remember the number,
Let's see.
but I think it's significant. Maybe 1,500 less, something like that. If they smash it like at 2,000, I'd be like, oh, never mind. you
Yeah,
know?
I think so. It's tough to judge. So I think like a lot of the other tournaments will be that, but I think the main event's going to be more entries just because uh, Club GG is probably going to give out a lot of seats.
Yeah,
See, I believe in
yeah,
the Club GG stuff, but Club GG I feel like is not promoting as much as they did last year. Like,
yeah,
we had to go out of our way to go see that Club GG was offering seats again. Like, we had to go into the app and see the packages, and they're not even offering packages this year. It's just 10K. They're not even doing 12K to help cover flights and air. Not that that's gonna stop someone from still playing, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
I was kind of confused with that approach at the end of the day, but you know, 10,112 entries last year. So predicting 8,500 plus Hector.
yeah. It's hard to say 10,000. Like, I don't think it's a lack of money. Like, I feel like people are still okay
Yeah,
that we're gonna see that in droves. It's just Vegas in general, man.
yeah.
you know?
What do you think, guys? What are you thinking for the main event specifically?
I think it's about the same, maybe a little bit more, just for the main,
You
just
think main's gonna
because
break the
let's be
record?
honest. Yeah, let's be honest. It's $10,000. Just because the hotel resort fees went up $10, food went up. It's not going to affect those guys that afford the 10K. I just feel like just a lot of I don't know. I feel like a lot of like poker rooms, like for example, Orange City is doing it this year. I feel like a lot of poker rooms around the world is growing more, and then online poker as well too is probably going to give out a lot of seats and stuff like that. So, but like the other events, I feel down like the maybe like the $500 events and stuff like that are going to draw less, just
Yeah.
because you know when everything goes up, it affects the people with the less bankroll.
Yeah, I do think the 25Ks, the 50Ks, all the high roller stuff like that'll stay the same.
Yeah,
But yeah, all that 3K and less, I don't see drawing the same amount of crowds. Main's the main. People will skip the whole summer just to do the main. So that's why I still think it'll get high numbers, but I just everything's kind of doom and gloom. So I would just say a little bit less.
The main is so confusing because like people that don't even play tournaments jump into the main.
Yeah,
So
but Phil Hellmuth's not going to be there, so that's already like 500 people that just aren't going to go because they won't have an entrance.
well, I think he's gonna be there. He's just gonna make a grand entrance so
Like
everybody last day they could be like, "You thought I wasn't playing strike?"
be even more obnoxious. You can't do this without me.
Sure, right. Yeah, I think my view's different. I don't see I from the main event. I see the main event being probably about 8 to 8,500 total entries. I don't see it doing what it did last year. I just feel like there was so much more ways to get into the main event this year. And a huge way to get into the main event is when you're there and you're able to satellite there, right? And I
Yeah,
think travel's down as a whole. People are losing money in the stock market, right? Like, and typically people that travel and spend a lot of money have a lot of money tied up invested in other places, right? So
yeah,
stock market's huge, like that can't be undermined. So
yeah.
usually in like election years or first year of administrations, especially when things like that are kind of all over the place, numbers tend to be down across the board. So I see the numbers being down for the main.
Yeah.
High rollers, yeah, high rollers. I think high rollers is a specific niche scene. I think those numbers stay the same. I
It's
think
the
I
same
think
100 people playing every.
exactly those guys they know all each other, and if for some reason someone's not gonna do it, they're gonna just back each other and swap anyways, right? Let's be real. So I don't see those numbers being hurt. It's gonna be more main event and then probably some of the smaller overall events. I still think Vegas is still gonna pop off, right? Like WSOP is still gonna bring a lot of money. I just don't see a record year. I hope I'm wrong, right? Because we want that growth, but I think I've been reading a lot more about travel being down than travel being up right now. It's kind of my overall.
Yeah, and in general, like the hotel rooms are way more pricey than it was last year or 2, 3 years ago.
You know? It's
Like
just
in Vegas.
it's hard. Like between the resort fees. I mean, I think we locked in a decent price for the rental car, but just even then, like rental car was still expensive, and people don't always want when you've gone to Vegas 7, 8 times. Like you don't want to just stay on the strip. Sometimes you want to go off the strip, and that's what we decided to do this time, and it adds up. Like it's not cheap. We got a really good rate at Paris. Like we locked that crap in. I'm glad we did it when we did because right now it's like double the price for the entire stay if we booked it right now. So we got lucky, but yeah. But then again, some people money ain't an issue. So so real quick, jump into some juicy stuff. Spend 5 minutes on your boy Maurice Hawkins ice. Um, what did you take away from Maurice's podcast yesterday, where he really went out of his way to clear his name? And does your opinion on him change at all?
Yeah, so obviously it's our opinion. Obviously, he could be telling the truth. He could be scamming. Um, it's up for us, the people, to decide. Just give our opinions on it, whatever. Um, Obviously, you hear all these stories about him last couple of years that he's been paying back his backers and stuff. So you automatically assume like you win all these circuit rings, you have the money to pay back. What aren't you paying back? Like, do you have a gambling addiction? What are you spending your money on? Are you like using? So it's just like, and then after a while, you see more people coming out, and just like Matt Berkey, and then the guy from Poker News as well too. Was it Chad Holloway?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, just writing about him like, hey, this guy doesn't pay and stuff like that. Which if he's not paying, I'm all for these people calling him out. That way, he doesn't get somebody else. If he is paying it, I felt like that interview he did hurt him just because he was kind of like all over the place. Just for example, like they was like, hey, he knows Dan. What's Dan's last name? Well, I don't know his last name. Like,
That was so man. I'm so happy you said that. That was so weird. He's like, "Oh yeah, Dan's my boy." He's like, "What's his last name?" He's like, "I don't know. He's a good poker player."
yeah.
I don't know if he just didn't want to
And,
put him out there in his identity, but that was weird.
Yeah,
Like that's not your boy.
then I don't know how far the backing goes. Was like if she pays, like Denise pays for his, buy-ins and stuff like that, and you're gonna ask her, hey, can you fly my daughter in and stuff like that? And it's just like,
Yeah,
no. Like I see why she says you're taking advantage because it's just like this is not just poker. This is like
yeah,
your expense too. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And then just some stuff he said, he was like, I felt like that interview hurt him more. Like if I was on his side before the interview, now I'm against him just because I felt like he tried to like come off like, hey, I pay everybody, I pay everybody. Tell the chat, ask me a question, which guy hasn't paid? And it's just like, obviously, um, you admitted that you owe somebody money and you haven't been paying them in full. You've been giving him like $500 here, and it's just like, come on, man. Like, if you owe the guy some money, pay them on your own. Don't start, give it to him in chump change because of course they're gonna call you out. Like, if you owe me 50K, right? I say, hey, you gotta pay me 2K a month, and you give me $500 a month or $400 every 3 months, I'm gonna be pissed. Just because that's not the terms we agreed to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
especially if you see in the news that he just took down another ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the $50 and $100 and every he makes it just okay.
What was
Yeah,
your kind of thoughts on everything, Hector?
I mean, the guy's sketch. I felt like he was trying to be transparent, but then he wasn't explaining certain things well. So like my biggest question was, w- like, if she took you to court, would she get a judgment? Would she, you're just saying that, oh, like, it wasn't a loan, it was a staking, so it's on her, and she's the one that ended it. I was like, okay, but you just told a story of how this Ryan Garcia ended it with you because you were on the downswing,
Ryan
but you
Garcia.
owe him.
Ryan Garcia, the boxer.
No, it was the guy that isn't it Ryan Garcia?
And
I
Garcia, I
think it
think.
was like Dan or something like that or something. Yeah. But I know what you're talking about. I just heard Ryan. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait, he did
Yeah,
business with a
I thought his name
boxer?
was Ryan, but yeah. But either way, yeah, him, the Garcia guy that like he ended it because you were on the downswing, a 60K downswing, and but you owe him, and you agree that you owe him,
Hmm.
and the courts agree that you owe him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, what is different between those two?
Yeah.
And then when they were like, at the end, they were like, tell me names of people I owe. This guy, oh no, he thought it was a loan, but it wasn't a loan, it's a stake. I was like, okay. So just right there, like all that stuff is like, I don't know. If I want money from you, I feel like it's my job to make you feel comfortable with what the business arrangement is in all aspects. But he doesn't. He leaves it open ended. He does I don't know, I don't want to say he's lying or changing or, like manipulating or anything, but let me leave it like, oh, it is a loan and I'm gonna pay you back no matter what, but in my head, no, it's just staking, you know what I mean? And they don't know that
Yeah.
type of dynamic. And so when the moderator is trying to help him out and say, hey, like make agreements if you're doing this all the time with all these people, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing me anyway. I was like, okay, you like because this is how you get through it.
Yeah.
You leave it ambiguous like that, and it's gonna bite him. I mean, it's biting him now.
Yeah.
He's making his life harder by paying the guy $500 every couple weeks.
Yeah. And
Like I get it. You don't want to pay the guy. The guy's I get that part. Like you have a grudge or whatever, but I'm like, you still are gonna do it.
mm-hmm.
So just rip the band-aid, pay the speeding ticket, and move on.
Exactly. And that was
It's-
my issue with the whole thing. Was it was just like, if what you're saying is true, right? Like, get over the insults, get over this and that. You want this to go away. He said in the beginning, he's like, I just want my name to be cleared, yada yada yada. Then
yeah.
clear your name. You talking about how every stop you're making 40, 50K. We know he's a good poker player. We know he's successful. We know he's not making 40K, 50K each stop though. But if
Yeah.
you were, let's say you have a
Yeah.
successful year, a couple 100,000 easy, right? Just pay him off. Like, so that way he can no longer say that you owe him still. And then,
Hmm.
because that whole comment about like, oh yeah, I sent him 500 a couple weeks ago. What? Like, do you know how dumb you just looked? Like, you're over here trying to fight for your name and this and that, but oh, you don't want to pay them because they're dragging your name through the dirt. Like,
Yeah.
stop
He
it,
went
stop it.
on. Not. I mean, I don't discredit the moderator because like I think he did a good job, but he's not a poker player. He doesn't know the world. He's a friend.
He's just a friend.
He's a
Yeah,
friend who was like gave him a safe space to say his side, and I'm like, dude, like that's not going to clear your name. What's going to clear your name is someone being direct with you and knowing where the pitfalls are, and saying, hey, this. What about this? What about this? What about this person? And hey, do you remember this tweet? Like for a guy who's just like, oh, okay, that's what that means.
yeah,
You're just eating up time.
yeah. I didn't like that, and I didn't like. I was telling us earlier. I'm like when they're like, oh, there's nobody in the chat asking questions. Let's just end it here. And they're searching for. I looked at the chat. People were asking questions. They just weren't
Yeah,
answering the questions. And
yeah,
he did a good job to kind of hold them accountable in the sense of like, hey, like you said, have agreements or clarify certain things.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's so easy for him to get out of a lot of this, right? Like someone's like,
yeah,
"Oh, you owe this guy money." He's like, "I don't owe him money because I don't know who that is." Like you can
yeah,
say that about 20 dudes and you would owe all 20 dudes money, but the average viewer, unless they're on those texts, those phone calls, they don't know that. But one
yeah.
thing I caught him in like two lies. He said that OnlyFriends invited him to their podcast, or he's like, oh, they said that they invited me. They didn't invite me. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. They 100% did, and you just ignored it. Same thing with Chad Holloway. Said to come on
Yeah.
tonight.
He was like, "How do I get on there?" I was like, "He just invited you right here."
He's literally in the
In your
chat.
chat.
He's literally DMing you, and he just like I said, I think at the end of the day, he made himself look a little bit weaker, if anything.
Yeah,
Um, if he
The
just
best
paid
part was
off
like,
his debts, like whatever, you take advantage of people, you're robbing people, whatever. But if you just paid off your debts, your name wouldn't be in the news anymore. And if that's
yeah,
what you really want, then just do it. You're so
this
successful, just do it.
there was a part where he was like, "Hey, go on the Poker News podcast," and he's like, "What do I talk about? Like, what is there to talk about?" And it's just like, "What do you mean? What is there to talk about?" Like, shit. But let
Ridiculous.
me tell you a story. I knew a scammer, right? I'm not gonna say his name, whatever. But for example, he scammed. Everybody knows he scams. Then you know, friends that he takes over his house, right? Has dinner with his family and stuff like that. Asks the person for money, like, hey, they froze my account. Make up a lie like that, like, hey, let me 4K. I give it to you next week for some reason. It's freezing the accounts, right? And then like the guy was aware like a couple of days before, like, hey, be careful with this guy because he scams, right? So he's like, okay, yeah, give me until Monday. I pay you. I just got to do some money, right? Long story short, 3 days later, the guy pled guilty, whatever. So it is just like there's scammers out there that no matter what, they trying to get money from more people. Like they would never admit what they did. Everything's
yeah,
just like this new story, like, hey, this is me now, like, and just try to keep getting money. This to a point where it's just like scumbags like that. It's like I
yeah,
don't care if they drag your name through the dirt and stuff. Like you deserve everything. Just pay back the people the money. Don't act like you're the best poker player in the world if you can't pay back the money. And if you
yeah,
are paying them, they lying. A lot of people lying.
yeah. I
I've
don't know
seen
if I
videos.
go so far as to call him a scammer. Like, I don't know if he's into. I think he's working hard to get backing. You know what I mean? And there's people who that he is paying. It's just you
Oh,
gotta have an agreement, man. That's
The what
that's
the
what do you
just that's
call
just it.
the
dirt bags?
go ahead.
What do you call them? It's just like you're not paying back somebody you said you were.
Yeah, just like a I don't know, like a just a bad partner.
Yeah.
I call them just like
POS.
untrustworthy. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't know about scamming because I feel like scamming, like no matter what, everyone would be like he took money from me, he took from me. But I'm like he does have some success stories. That guy was with him for years. So like he was getting money. You know, is did he have profit of 160? I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know a story like that.
Yeah.
But like this lady, I mean, it makes sense because it was like straight multiple losses in a row, and then hey, give me a flight. That I can understand that she felt that way because it was fast and quick and loose and all that stuff. So
Yeah. The one
so
thing I'll end it on, which I thought was really weird, was I felt like we got multiple explanations of what backing, staking, and all. Like I felt like they were all contradicting themselves, and I think we have a solid understanding of like, hey, I'll give you $100 for your 100K or your 1K, and that's
Yeah,
gonna pay. You're gonna give me 10% of whatever, like different things, right? But like I felt like his definitions don't match like the average person's definitions. Like when he
yeah,
said, "Oh, if I lose it, like you basically," it almost sounded like he was basically saying you got to keep backing me in multiple tournaments to basically get to the point where he can then pay you back. You know what I mean? And it was like, and if you stop, then you're not fulfilling your end of the agreement. And that just sounded really weird to me because it sounded like you got to keep giving me money until I can get your money back. And if you stop, then that's on you. And that does not sound like a partnership whatsoever. Like he said
yeah,
it early on, and I was just like, that's kind of weird. And I think that's why when she said go home, because he kept saying, I have a text. It says go home. I felt like that's why he was hinging on that so much because that was his out, right? Like that was his way of saying, look, you told me to go home. So I'm just gonna listen and I'm out, So I don't know.
yeah.
Regardless, just didn't look wasn't a good look for him, you know.
Yeah. I would like to see it in court and see who wins. I don't have a dog in this race. I don't care who wins. I would just like to see who's right in this because I don't 100% disagree with him, but I don't 100% agree with her either. So I would just like to see what happens, how
I'm a
this unfolds.
I'm gonna draft him on my
Yeah,
fantasy team.
I just hope he's not asking for more backing if he hasn't been paying it off. Because that's just a dirtbag move. Pay off your people first and then ask for more backing.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Or just admit to it, like, hey, I spend the money. Like, I feel like him is like, I make 50 grand, 100 grand. Like, I make people money, and it's just like, and pay it. Like,
He's yeah.
it's,
He's so full of himself. Like when he was like, "Oh, I'm the most consistent poker player of all time." Yada yada, and
Yeah.
it's just like, bro, you're making payments to someone right now based on
Make him.
judgment, and you just don't pay him back in full. But you're the most consistent, right? Like you can go pay him back by the next tournament. Then like, dude,
Daniel
it's
Negreanu is paying 20K to people on a Tuesday and then go get in and out like 5 minutes later. Like he's not stressing about this.
think about all the stories that came out. England, Tino Reen, and there's a few other people not paying back. None of them has been lost. So it's just like multiple people are saying it. I don't think they're gonna accuse you if you pay it back. Especially like if you say you're making the money, like nobody's gonna stop backing you if you're making the money.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, 100%.
That's right. Because even like Tom Dwan, his explanation was just like, no, I don't think I owe it. Why? Because I don't think I like it's a personal reason. It's like don't upset your horse because they'll just decide to stop not paying you. And that's why I was like, you just like that's this word stuff. Like this handshake thing doesn't mean anything anymore. Have an agreement, write it down,
Dwan
and
was
and, and have an escrow. Use the usestake.com or whatever it is.
let's do this dirt challenge, but when I'm down, let me just bail and say I have high stakes in Macau and not finish up the. That's also like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like Jungle Man just kept calling him out, like just pay, pay, pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
It's funny that he mentioned Jungle Man in this one too.
and he gave
And he
him
was like,
he
yeah,
gave him
he was
props.
actually on my side.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wonder
yeah.
if Jungle Man's watching like, what?
Yeah, he's like, I didn't say that. What the fuck you talking
I didn't
about?
say that.
So real quick to end on some more breaking news, more in the last couple hours or so. I don't know if you guys saw. So our boy Ali, Ali Imsiravic, whatever the heck his name is. He was leading day one flight of the main event of the Run Good Poker Series at Jacksonville, and
No.
they pulled him out of the tournament. They said, "We don't want you to play here." I don't know exactly what the conversation. I didn't see details of the conversation, but he essentially was removed from the tournament after leading day 1A. So,
Was he banned like beforehand and he didn't know?
no, there's just this larger effort, I think, amongst gaming institutions that they're gonna take advantage of the fact that they can refuse service to anyone, right? And he's a
Yeah.
known cheater. Um,
Yeah.
People don't want a cheater in the field. I do find it funny that they kind of waited till he was leading to kick him out.
Yeah.
They could have got him, and maybe it took some time. Maybe staff doesn't know what he looks like, yada yada. But once word got around, because I saw Kevin Mathers from Hendon Mob was like, "Oh, Ali sighting in Jacksonville," and an hour later, they were like, "His ass is out of the tournament." So people talk,
Yeah.
right? Reputations go a long way. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to jump into some WSOP tournaments and to see how WSOP handles it, because
Maybe they were kind of waiting for him to just bust early to not have to kick him out. And then once they saw he was chip lead, it was like, all right, yeah, he's gonna be here a while. We can't have this.
I honestly
He's gonna be a big story. Let's get him out.
No, I honestly think some of them don't know. Like depends if you buy in day flight or night flight. Maybe the big time tournament director is working the day. He bought in that night.
yeah.
Obviously the cashiers that take the money, they don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not because it's not like they have like an active list that probably says he can't play here. I'm sure it's more of a like on the spot decision. Like this isn't
Yeah.
good publicity. This guy's in our tournament. We don't want to be associated with him.
If he's not banned, I think he should get his money back.
I would imagine that they gave him his money back, and I would imagine everyone is 100% okay with that as long as he's not in the tournament. I'd be
Yeah.
okay with it. I'd be like, take it out of the prize pool. I don't want to
Yeah.
play with a cheater though.
Yeah, I'd
A
be
cheater
pissed.
that knows how to
I'd
play
be
too,
pissed
right?
if
Because
they
he's a
kick
good
me out.
player.
I'm chip lead and I don't get my money, my buy-in back.
I mean, it'd be real
Dude, I
petty if the tournament director was like, "Hold on, wait till he wins a couple pots and then we'll get him out of here."
I hope WSOP sends him a message like, "Hey, you're not on WSOP," because that really will like set a tone, like
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
these cheaters.
I
That'd be
think
awesome.
I think Run Good doing this is awesome, and it's kind of like I hope it flashes a light bulb on the WSOP that says, "Hey, like we're setting a precedence here. You guys do the same this upcoming summer, and let's continue to do this to protect the game because we don't want people like this." And if Ali gets blackballed from Run Good and like a WSOP, WPT will follow, and pretty much every poker series outside of the Ship It and
Yeah.
Name Stack will,
How far
ban
will
him.
that go? Like, do they have to get rid of Chris Ferguson if he tries to show up?
I mean, did he
Or
cheat
how
though in poker
letter?
games? That's the thing. He's just a scumbag.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there are plenty of poker players, that are, have used RTA and whatnot, and it's kind of like,
Mhm.
But yeah, well, we'll end on that note. I thought that was kind of funny breaking news, a little win for the poker community. I'm sure we'll get another one of these aired before Vegas. We'll probably all kind of dive a little bit deeper into some of the training we're doing on the Solve for Why platform and all of the learning modules.
We got to do our draft.
We got to do the WSOP draft. So yeah, maybe the day that we do a little episode talking about those platforms, we do our WSOP draft as well, kind of knock it out. But yes, we got to get some more players, expand the draft this year. That'll be fun. But yeah, outside of that, Vegas later this month, so you can expect a ton of content while we're out there. Expect the draft to come out shortly. Expect some Solve for Why feedback and reviews on their platforms. And other than that, like, I think it's kind of the calm before the storm for us, right? Like, we're going to be posting so much in Vegas that right now it's just kind of we're just cruising, and then it's going to be madness. So that's it for me, guys. You guys got anything else before we sign off?
No.
Well,
Good to go. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We will catch you on the next time. And until then, see you later.
Hey, I'm about to go level up. I cannot settle for nothing. I never been regular. Always knew I could do